Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get Folked. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Get Folked, casual listening podcast anchored in our love of folk music. We're going to slack on the lines, take you on to our worlds of Berlin, Limerick, and beyond. My name's Andrew.
And my name for this week, my moniker is Edward Busted Bones Brophy. I am the purveyor of weak joints in embarrassing situations. So save yourself embarrassment and subscribe to us on Substack. Listen on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Befriend us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram.
Tell us more.
Sick of
Achilles. Tell us your tale, Achilles, of your weak joints.
So I twisted my ankle in in
a swimming
I suppose
pool.
Embarrassing situation. You know, not a swimming pool. No, that's on the bucket list. That'll happen eventually as well. So yeah, I twisted my ankle like years ago, and since then I've twisted it several times now. And we were at kind of a family get together, and I was like playing soccer with the younger kids and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't even really doing anything. I just walked and just twisted my ankle. I just went down so dramatically. And
Plus, you're a tall guy, so it's very much a red oak falling.
Yeah, did you ever see like in Lord of the Rings when the Ents attack, and if I think one or two of the Ents went down, I would have been one of the Ents that got.
We would have been sending you to the front of the line
Yeah, literally.
We would
exactly.
sang songs about you, but not particularly cared about your
but
well-being.
Ultimately, yeah, going in, you knew this guy's going down. He's not gonna make it. So yeah, but I just went down so hard, and when you're an older man and like you're playing with like your nieces and nephews, and it's very embarrassing because they're all like they could run around probably for 12 hours straight and they'd be fine. And then I was like a turtle stuck on his back. It's like, call a priest. And then several priests, call all the religions. One of them's going to be able to help me.
Call the Jehovah's Witnesses, from what I hear around Borrisokane world. We're getting a new center for the
Really?
Jehovah's. Yeah, there you go now. A little fresh off my news feed.
Okay.
My Mary news feed.
Where is that going, I wonder?
It's just very near where I grew up on the Hill of Towers, or as we call it, Tower Hill, for it has only one.
Yeah. It's the water tower, is it? I guess that's why they call it Tower Hill.
Tower, I think so, yeah. But yeah, seemingly there's a permission for a Jehovah's Witness center to going in there.
In the water tower, on top of it.
No, in some building on the way up there, so you can
That'd
go
be
there, and
fucking cool.
as long as you are, I was looking up what Jehovah. What do you think Jehovah's Witnesses thing is? What do you know that little quiz time for Ed?
I don't, to be honest with you. No, and it's not like I don't know any or haven't met any. I mean, I've met Jehovah's Witnesses, and one of my let's say national school friends when I was in national school, he was Jehovah's Witness as well, but never got into what the tenets were or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty much on a solid line with Christianity, apart from they don't believe in the hairy spirit, or they're not
the
down
Father,
with
the
that.
Son, and the hairy Spirit. That's like something that really passive aggressive. You pretend you've made a mistake just to have a dig at the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
The Father, Son, and the the hairy Spirit. I mean, sorry.
Oopsie. Yeah, but they don't. They believe that Jesus is the Son of God, and the Savior. Is it the Holy Spirit? Or maybe, no, wait. The Holy Spirit's fine. They're cool with that. Jesus is believed to be the Son of God and the Savior, but not part of the Trinity.
Right. Right.
So fucking figure that
Gotcha.
out for yourself.
Mm.
I did enjoy the fact that they're very strict about alcohol, no drugs,
Yeah.
no sleeping with others, no sleeping
Coffee.
around, no sex before marriage. So I think Tar Hill is probably going to just soak up the having grown up there myself. I know where I come from. I know my kind of people, and they are the non-drinking, non-smoking, and certainly non-fornicating gang. That's who we are.
They do like their coffee though, so they might struggle with that one. Isn't the caffeine a no as well or something?
It could be. I don't know. I didn't do my research. But now that you said
Wow.
you're praying to all the gods, get Jehovah in there as well.
If they help me with the old ankle, I don't care.
Sorry,
Satan himself.
right out for you, sir. Right out for you.
But yeah, I mean, Jehovah's Witnesses. Like I had two call to me. Like, yeah, I mean, they've called. Like they I feel bad for them because they're a bit more dedicated. They have to put a bit more work than, let's say, your nominal Catholic.
Yeah,
say, for example,
they've certainly got the name, anyways. That they're a bit relentless with the whole kind of door to door. Isn't there a whole load of kind of jokes when they're going door to door and then someone actually lets them in, but they don't know what was that from? It was some show that someone was just desperate and Jehovah's Witness came and they let them in. They had no idea what to do from that point onwards because they were like, "Oh, I think it was Black Book." So it was Bill Bailey and Dylan Moore. I think they were just they came in and and it ended up being the classic role reversal that Jehovah's Witness were trying to get out.
Very good. So yeah, it was centered there. I wonder what that.
There you go. Forbids premarital sex, homosexuality, gender transitioning, adultery, smoking, drunkenness, and drug abuse, and blood transfusions.
I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of those things sound like fun. Not going to say which ones.
Yeah.
But look, each to their own, I suppose. And that's that. But the blood transfusions, that's a weird one.
Yeah, all these kind of things. But listen, what's not weird? There's fucking Mr. RFK Jr. is leading the old US there in the whole what's normal and what's not in this. We got to sit this out for a couple of years and then maybe have a conversation. I think there's a.
I can't get over his voice though. I think I can't. I think it's his voice so distracting.
It's very distracting.
Like people are like, "Geez, did you hear what he just said there?" I was like, "No, I don't think I didn't actually hear what he said because." Yeah, I just can't get past the voice.
But maybe the plan is it's like in a similar way to that, like we told a story before about when the blind person asked could they be our sound engineer, and we felt we couldn't say anything because it would be somehow disrespectful. Maybe the guy that sounds like he's dying.
I didn't feel that way. I felt so confident in this man's abilities because he was blind.
Yes. It works both ways. So confident. So when the guy sounds like he smoked like nothing but just raw tobacco for 50 years straight and kind of talks about worms in his brain, you're like, this guy must know what he's talking about because he's literally a walking either vaccination or disease. I'm not sure.
Yeah. This guy, listen to him. He knows what works.
He's tried it all.
He's tried it all. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, it's okay. I'll be interested to see the old, what it looks like. I mean, will the center look? Will they go regal? Will they go understated in the center? Will they? What will it look like? Will it just be nondescript?
Yeah, I like that.
A simple sign.
Just a full-on Jesus on the cross, giant. No, like a Michael Jackson statue maybe on the very top, just to grab the attention of the people. And then
the Buddy Christ.
The Buddy Christ.
From that movie, Dogma.
Buddy
Christ or something like that.
We'll
cool.
see.
Watch
Wait
the space.
Once it's at the early stages. How it was fresh off the news print. Fresh off print yesterday, so I kind of didn't do much about
Not verified yet, so no.
Well, no, the Tipperary Star did verify it that it is there. Okay. So there is some truth to it. How far along they're going to get along that road?
Okay, so we're not breaking the story. So
no, this is not breaking, but it's important that people are aware. It's important all those French people are aware what's going on in Burzagate.
So, other than the teachings of Jehovah, have you anything else to promote? Maybe something more music related?
Still on the 16th of July. We're
16th of
confirmed. The
July.
poster will be coming out this weekend as soon as I sit down and do it, and then I'll post it 2 weeks from now, 3 days
Nice.
after the gig. But 16th of July in Posh Deckle will be ourselves, Hawk and Twang, belting out a few tunes and a few new ones, along with in the beautiful company of the group In Case of Crisis, a German-Irish fusion of banjo, mandolin, and wonderful, wonderful harmonies.
You love the old posters.
I do not. I do not. It just seems like in the group that I'm in, I seem to have. I've been told I struggle with delegation, but also I feel like there's also the case of people willing to be delegated to, and I think everyone's in quite a comfortable position where I'm the poster maker right now.
Okay. You want someone to come into the next band meet and just go, guys, I've hired a guy
Banksy.
to fly across the skies of Berlin, and he's going to spell out the gig with a smoke machine stuck onto the back of the
but
airplane.
using the font of Windings, so really fucking just it's a complicated procedure, but we feel like it'll get people talking. They won't know what they're talking about.
2 men died trying to do this last year. 2 pilots. Which is why the cost is so high, which is also something I need to talk to you guys about. We need to remortgage everything.
But the 16th of July, poster on the way. Yes, I don't love posters. Yes, I've moved away from what we had. I believe I made a nice poster last time, but the problem is, I just started square one. I don't know how to. I'm not organized enough to have saving some sort of template that it's just a matter of. It should be just a matter of type in the new name and the new date. But I tend to, I like to make it as fresh as possible. That's the artist in me, though.
That's art. That is. I was just about to say that's art. You can't just. Otherwise, what are you? You're just a printing press, Andy.
I'm not a printing press, Ed.
No, you're an artist.
I am an artist. Speaking of artists, sorry. Story number one is this: we were up at I've told you before that this bridge Hobrecht Brücke, which has now been aptly newly named New Yuppie Bridge. Someone came along with a lump perfectly. So on Hobrecht Brücke, there is these lovely, on either end of the bridge, it's called Hobrecht Brücke, but done in like obviously iron forged, I'm going to say. So you can imagine like gates, what do you call gates when you get them? They're iron. How would you describe when someone makes something with iron? It's an
cast iron.
Cast iron. This looks like a kind of cast iron thing of Hobrecht Brücke is written on these on the railings of the bridge. It's really beautiful. But someone came along with some heavy duty glue and a piece of plastic in the perfect rectangular shape and stuck it onto the Hobrecht Brücke, and now it's called New Yuppie Bridge.
Okay.
Okay. So
a diss.
I guess a knock, because it has become extremely popular, and it's very nice. I was up there last night, and it is really nice. I don't know about New Yuppie Bridge. People like hanging out there.
Yeah.
Drinking their beers outside, so I guess it's irritating to. I don't know. Why do you
all it takes, Andy, is one person to be annoyed by that. I mean, like, I think that's a reflex you see a lot of the time, where it's like, this is somebody who kind of maybe they liked the bridge the way it was, and now it's gone a bit more popular, and now it's like, well, it's not what I liked anymore.
Mm-hmm. And I get that too as well, because it was a bridge that we hung out in on many times before it became this center of activities. Excellence. But it is just very nice up there, because they've put these like they're not speed bumps, but like dividers between the it's a one-way street one, and then their bike lanes have these kind of raised barriers between them, but not raised enough like that it's like a fence, but raised just enough so people can sit on them and very comfortably kind of just chill together. So now everyone sits on these things, and there's a little bit of an inconvenience for some bikes, but only if you're like, I need to get this blood to the patient in the next 10 minutes or else they'll die. And then maybe you might be irritated by that.
Just blocked. All these Jehovah's Witnesses just blocked the path. No, we're sitting here. Is there any, like, when you say, when it's called Yuppie, New Yuppie Bridge, I mean, is there anything that you would identify as yuppie behavior there, or is it just people
No.
just hanging out?
Well, what would you? How would you? Because we were talking about this last night. What's your definition of yuppie?
Sugar, I was hoping you'd throw in a
Well,
definition
I'll tell you
there.
because it's actually not that. I guess young professional is where it comes from. Yuppie.
Okay.
I I,
What's wrong
I,
with that? That's not,
yeah,
everyone's got to be a young professional at some stage, no?
and I guess there are people that making a lot of money. Like I don't know, yuppie.
Okay,
Making
okay.
a lot of money. I don't know. A person that makes quite a lot of money as well. Maybe I'm putting
Right.
that one now just from my own thinking on it. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. It does just sound like sour grapes of just as you said. I liked the way it was, and now
Yes,
lots
but
of people
there
have made it
is
popular.
yes, there is something though, the unspoilt nature of a place. You know what I mean? If you let's say, there is a there we've all most of us have probably experienced that thing where we're at that point where we're young and no money. We found this place that we could hang out, and we didn't need to have money. And then if you have, let's say, yuppies as you describe it, come along with money, it might change the characteristic of it in a way that's
But
not as nice.
it's
Or
still a bridge. I can understand that for a
yeah,
bar. Like there's a
yeah, yeah,
restaurant
yeah. It's a bridge.
where we went to like the last time just down the road from there. I don't want to mention the name of it because that would be just if I'm not going to say something positive. But it's very expensive there, and it's
Okay.
extremely popular. I don't know. I think you were with me when you got like a sausage roll there that
Oh
was
yeah,
quite
yeah, yeah.
quite a
Fuck that
pricey.
place. Oh my
But
god, fuck that
that I
place.
would describe as kind of yuppie because like you gotta
Yeah,
have money to go there. It takes up a massive amount of space. It's a great place to hang out, and it's always jammed to the rafters.
yes, but
Um,
anytime I walk past there, I want to punch every single person in the face in that place, which is that to me is yuppie. Now I understand there are inbuilt problems with that definition of the word yuppie. It's like it's somebody who Edward wants to punch in the face. That's not going to work. I know that, but
yeah,
it's a visceral feeling that I have whenever I see it. And I guess that's how I define a yuppie.
yeah.
It's somebody who I
So
wouldn't want to hang out with, obviously.
that's why I think New Yuppie Bridge is unfair because it's as we said, it's a bridge. It's like you
Mm.
can there is literally like junkies walking by and just randomly just screaming and shouting and stuff like that. And if
Yeah.
this is what the young rich people want in their lives, maybe it's like a touch of reality or it's a taste of reality.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, no, I like it. I like the way the bridge is gone now. It's a really nice
Yeah.
place to go and hang out. The sun hits it perfectly. The trees are
Yeah.
lined up along the canal on both sides. Berlin's a very, I think, in relative to other cities that I've lived in, a very green city. And yeah, and this place is kind of captures both the sun and the landscape perfectly at the twilight hours of the evening. Would be perfect to go there and play a gig. Actually, last night would have been a very ideal. There wasn't any musicians there last night.
Okay.
So
Classic yuppie fucking perspective. You think you own the bridge?
yeah,
You
I
can
think
just
I
go
can
there and
play
play
music and
music,
just yeah. But I'm doing it for
affect
everybody
everybody
else. It's
else.
not for me. It's selfless.
Consciousness.
It's selfless. It's like a fucking noble thing. Um, bring a couple of
Ah, must
Jehovah's.
ring da do da da.
So, but the reason I
Very
got
good.
onto that bridge there was because, oh yeah, you said something about what did you just say? Something about
It was an embarrassing story anyway, or something like that.
yeah, but
Embarrassing story.
it was something to just wanting to punch people in the face or whatever or something like that. But because I was there, it was this day last week actually that I was there with a friend of ours, and we were just sitting there just doing our thing and chatting away and playing chess actually badly. I get the shit beaten out of me every time, but I like having it to play. But a guy started playing music right in front of us. Like I mean, like from like no more than 3 meters away from us and on the bridge. So like we had now had front row seats to a concert we didn't pay for,
Mm.
and he started to break out kind of unusual. Like I didn't actually play any clips, and I'll tell you why now in a second. But I guess it was kind of drum and bass techno is what you have to imagine. But he was doing it
Oh,
all with little what looked like kind of a when you kind of put a stick between your hands and you roll it forwards and backwards and then the clackers go doom 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 the little
yes.
beaters, kind of what looked like something like that, a more advanced one of those, and a couple of little drums and djembes and a microphone. But anyways, at some stage we were just sitting there and we were chatting, and then I saw this guy going up to the musician and talking to him and asking him something. Now we could only assume that he was asking, could he record or could he do a recording or would he mind, blah blah blah. But the musician just went and he's like, I'm a musician, you're a whore. And he just really loud. And he just started fucking mouthing away in German about how this fucking prick had just fucking ruined his day. And we can't tell if he wanted like money or whatever, but it was just a classic Berliner moment, as we said to each other. It's like someone just straight off the plane and just like sees some beautiful music and the sun is shining and just walks up and says, do you mind if I record you something? It's like, I'm a musician, you're a whore, fuck off. So yeah. So the bridge. While it might be yuppie, it's still gonna keep you well grounded.
Still an edge to it there. Jesus Christ! I mean, talk about an overreaction
to whatever it was.
Like just
unless he went up
cool,
and said
man.
something like, "Hey man, I'd like to suck your dick."
Yeah.
I'd like to suck your dick.
Hi, I'm with my friends, and I'd like for you to shout out that I'm a whore in front of everyone, please.
I'll pay you.
Only explanation. Make sure to tell everyone you're a musician as well. That I'm a whore.
But so that's that bridge, and I was there yesterday. Actually, I had an unexpected day where I had some free time yesterday. And I went for a cycle and just was up this bridge at around 1 o'clock, I'd say, 12:30, 1 o'clock. And there was a lady playing on it, really, really nice music. I have a little clip of that I'll leave you now.
Tell me there's a way. Pick me up and take me there.
Oops, so Daisy, sorry, I'm going to have to start again. I fucked it up again. Sorry, everyone. I'm just going to play that again. We'll get it in post.
Pick me up and take me there. That I'd love to see. All the while I know I'll get there singing for free. All the while I know I'll get there singing for free.
Yeah.
Ooh, very nice.
Very, very smooth. She doesn't have any, what do you call it? She doesn't have any, she just had an Instagram handle. And her name is, I'm going to have to actually type it in here now again. It was Clara. Oh man, I've actually lost the name. Oh, there she is. Clara Spelsberg. That's her name. Her Instagram handle is at Clara CLARASPELSB. But beautiful voice. Young and like just a nice musician singing on the side. Really sweet voice. Sang kind of folky kind of songs. I'm not sure. Do you know that song? You recognize that song that she sang?
No, I don't recognize it.
I try. It might be her own. It might not be, but it might be her own. I was trying to find it. I was trying to find out what the song was by typing in the lyrics, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So, but yeah, Clara Spellberg, if you want to look her up. But there's not much going on in her Instagram account apart from her own Instagram. Saying that though, I don't know enough about Instagram really, because when I typed it in, I just look at the very front page, but I don't know how to. I haven't really perfected how to go rooting around someone's Instagram and going like, how can they redirect me onto something interesting.
I think there isn't there only just a there is only just the front page I thought on Instagram.
And then after that you have to kind of get redirected to someone's Bandcamp or something like that, or I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, very nice though. God, that was lovely. Some lovely sound there.
Yeah, I think I've said it before about Berlin, and just like, and again, it's why I love where I live, the city, and both the location is because you can kind of transfer worlds very quickly. You can transcend worlds in terms of like, a folk musician, a junkie screaming at a fucking another junkie, people playing basketball and kind of be immersed in the basketball world, all the way down to kind of dancers in the middle. It's just a real melting pot of little kind of mini ecosystems. There's always the Boolsplatz.
And there's
for some
booze back
booze.
then as well.
Yeah, so
Nice, very good. And yeah, so she wasn't aggressive. Then she didn't.
no,
tell us,
no,
she
no.
didn't call you a whore.
No, she was quite nice. And
That's so lovely.
yeah, so that was pretty much bookends of my week. Were kind of
Nice.
a bridge with to see Shouty McShouterson, and then bridge to see Clara Spellsberg.
Lovely.
Then in the middle, I had a fun interaction during the week when I was cycling to work and cycling back. Sorry, and there's at one point of my cycle, I have a choice. I'm at Potsdamer Platz, so you're familiar with these places. Everyone else that probably not, but I was at Potsdamer Platz, and where I have to go is behind from Kreuzberg, and I want to go behind the Sony Center. So kind of that little kind of road there. There's a hotel. I think it's called the Marriott Hotel. That's right there or something like that.
Quite a fancy one, yeah.
Yeah, the fancy one. But to get from the opposite side of the street to there, I should stay on the road and turn left. But there's a massive kind of pedestrian square type opening there right in front of the train station where lots of people cycle across. So I was cycling back, and on the way back, I decided to cut the corner and like save myself 10 seconds. So just as I cut the corner, then there was bike police on the street. So I saw them, and then I was like, cool as you like, casual, just got off my bike, stood down, started walking towards the train station. And he stopped me, and he started like all in German, like, I see that you saw me there and you got off the bike. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to the train station. And he kind of like rolled his eyes and said, yeah, well, I think you saw me. It's illegal to cycle here, blah, blah, blah. You're not supposed to be on that, and you can get a fine. So don't do it again. I was like, okay, sorry about that. Yeah, no problem. So then, of course, now I had committed to my lie. I was like, I couldn't. One, I didn't want to lie to a police officer. And I wasn't lying, because in that split second that I saw the police officer, I decided I'm going to the train station.
Yeah.
So there was no lie. And
It's like the murder or manslaughter thing. It's like I was thrusting the knife through that person's chest, but just before it hit their chest, I was like, "Fuck! I don't want to kill this person." Knife went in.
Exactly.
Manslaughter, not murder.
So
see how it works.
Oh man, this is like we're doing one of those classic murder case podcasts now, where we can
If the
actually help
glove
people.
If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. That's
And
it,
if the glove does fit, then still quit. We don't really mind either way. But anyway, so I went down, so I carried my bike, schlepping my bike down the fucking train station. Don't really know what's going on down there, but I was like, right, I better go down here and come out some other end. So I walked a little bit through the train station and climbed back up the steps. Of course, what happens when I climb up the steps? Two cops are just walking, and they probably wouldn't have said anything to me, but I just saw them and I was like, oh fuck it. Anyway, so I had to turn around and carry my bike back down the steps again. I went back to my original entry point, which they had now vacated, and continued on my journey home. But yeah, it was.
Oh God.
Yeah, bike police, nothing better to fucking doing. This fucking city is burning. They're after me.
Are they prevalent? Is there a lot of them around?
There's more bike police, I think, than when you were here. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
No, yeah. There's definitely more, but like still not. Like Berlin is kind of funny in comparison when you compare it to Dublin. Like you don't see a lot of, like, as they say in the Garda scene, I believe, is there's not many people on the beat in Berlin.
Right.
You don't see many people walking around still, and I think that's still the case till now. At least where we live, we see cars driving around a bit. But there is a few bike police, but definitely around that area of Potsdamer Platz as well, because that's kind of an affluent, the cycling past that Marriott Hotel, there's always limousine drivers and a lot of, let's say, well-to-do folk, or what seems to be well-to-do folk floating around the place.
They're probably on their way to the new Yuppie Bridge.
Well, that's where they want to be. That's where they want to be, but they're not yup. They're not yup enough.
I maybe I'm wrong on this, but I think maybe I think the bicycle police is not where they put the elite police. So you always have that. You can always approach them with a certain high-minded arrogance, which I hear police love. If you're arrogant and high-handed with them. Just with that, be safe in the knowledge, Andy, that These are
I think
these are the
always
dregs.
the 12,
The
the
dregs.
12, 13 years of Berlin experience has shown me is like I'm not so worried about what they are. I'm always going to be the shiz. I'm not allowed to cycle. Oh,
Ah,
shiz.
oh my god! Ah, not like
That's
that
my
where I'm
worst
from.
thing.
Huh? Just off the
The,
plane.
the confused Irish country boy who's just arrived, and to them that means nothing.
Okay.
It's just like I'm just
Yeah.
another human. But I feel like I can tap into their rural understanding of what a Kulchi is in Germany.
Yeah.
What Germans
Yeah,
call
yeah.
Kulchis.
Yeah. I think you play it well, and I think you have to. You really have to channel it. You have to,
Yeah,
and you have to
yeah.
go for that sort of.
Yeah.
Now it worked for a while. But I think that has worn off as well. Though you're not going to get away with that.
Yeah, and it's a bit sad then as well, because not only have you not only have you kind of degraded yourself, you don't get what you want either. So then
you're left with a bag of shit in both hands. Basically, you've lost all self-respect. But that's your first mistake. You shouldn't go into these situations with any self-respect anyway. I saw a guy once. I was in Lidl there, in Berlin, and sorry, now we're going to a big Berlin fest here for anyone who's not familiar with Berlin, but you can picture inside of Lidl, I'm sure. And this one, it was the one that was closest to my apartment, very close to Gorse
McDonald's,
Park,
near the McDonald's.
Near the McDonald's, that's correct. And anyway, I went in there anyway, and there was a security guard. You know the way you've got the way that you go out. So you've gone through the checkouts, and it's a separate path from where you come in, so you can't go out there unless you go through the checkouts. So I was doing my shopping or whatever, and I looked down the aisle, and I could see a security guard had detained a fella. Excuse me. He sounded like he had a North American accent, so he was either American or Canadian, and he was pleading with this security guard to let him go or to whatever. I gather that he had probably shoplifted or something like that, and he had gone past the point of, or maybe his situation caused him to have to go past the point of, oh, Picaro, what's or whatever the American equivalent is of that. Oh, I didn't know you weren't allowed to steal. He had gone straight past that, straight to the groveling, almost crying phase of pleading with this guy, the security guard, just to let him go. And I shit you not, the security guard was having the fucking time of his life. He was like, this was his dream to have caught this person, right? And to have them pleading with him. First of all, a foreigner, and second of all, he is groveling. Like, he really is. You talk about debasing yourself. This guy was absolutely no dignity left. And I wanted to just call him and go, man, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Just save whatever it is you have left now and just stop, because look at him. He's not doing anything for you. Just stop. And he's clearly enjoying it, And then that was grand. I stayed shopping anyway. And I went through another 10 minutes had passed or 15 minutes had passed or something like that. And I was still in there. I'm a slow shopper. And these two police vans pulled up, and these guys, these like riot gear guys, got out of the vans, all stormed into the shop. But they couldn't come in through the exit door, so they all had to come in through the entrance door. And they're all like storming through. There's like 10 of them,
and have to do the aisles of Lidl before they can get back out to the other side.
Fucking, I was like, what? This isn't for the fucking young fella, surely to God. But yeah, 10 of them walked in, and it was so funny because like it was such an like an overuse of force, So they all went into this office, the back office behind the checkouts. They marched your man in first, but because there was so many of them and they're all trying to get through this one door, there's a big like log jam of fucking 10 burly police officers just all trying to get in through this door. To do what? I don't know. Like, to talk to this one kid who fucking was trying to steal some fucking tomatoes or something. I don't know. And then they all came out again. I was like, I'm fucking gonna watch how this ends up, And then they all came out again. And your man in cuffs, 10 of them marched him out of the shop, And they all looked so happy. They all looked so happy.
Yeah.
And he-
I guess a lot of time you're probably dealing with very kind of non-coherent and angry and aggressive. So to just have
Yes.
someone like melting in front of you was like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. They were lad. It was on one way I felt bad for the shoplifter. I was like, okay, look, obviously you shouldn't be shoplifting, but like, I was like, there's a bit too much going on there for this situation. I think you know what I mean. There's a bit.
yeah.
And he handled it in the worst possible way. Like you know what I mean. He handled it, you know, and like I'd be guilty of that probably myself. I would just be a bumbling mess if I found myself in that situation. But it's just a shame that he couldn't pull off some quips, you know, at the time, just to say like I don't know, save himself some dignity.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So you handled it better than that, Andy. Well done.
I did. I don't think I was not dismissive of him, and yet I was confident in the fact that I, Andrew Comerford, am going to the train station. I got off my bike.
Yeah.
Because I want to go down the steps, and that would be dangerous to go down on my bike. I'm not that cool, you know.
No.
Maybe I could be that cool, but yeah.
You owned that. You owned that line. You inhabited that. You got into character very, very fast. Well done.
It's always a worry though, because I just don't want to get a fine, especially for biking for a fucking fine. It's not even the fine that have the problem in Germany. It's the fucking paperwork that goes with it, and just fucking. When I got married, that you had to wait because I'd been caught speeding in some area, and they had to take my driver's license like a week or 2 weeks before I got married. And you had to pick up my license for me because I flew back to Ireland early to get organized for the wedding, and you had to pick up my license for me. Fuckers took my license for a month. Do you don't remember that?
Yeah. No, I don't remember that at all, actually. But sure, yeah.
Anyways, enough.
I went in. I was a bumbling mess. I was crying in that office. So I was just like, please.
Friend is getting married.
Please. Come here. I've got some housekeeping, if that's all right.
Nice. Let's do it.
So,
go on. You can talk. It's not that loud.
oh yeah, okay. So last week we referenced the Starry Plough, the flag, the Starry Plough. You know, so was it just for the Irish Socialist Revolutionaries? I kind of said it was, but that was slightly wrong. So it was. I have it written down here. It was used by the Irish Citizen Army. Which themselves, they were a socialist Irish Republican movement involved in 1916 Rising, but then it became used by the Irish Labour movement, including the Labour Party, in the 1930s. So basically, the flag has passed on from group to group to group. Several groups have used it, let's say, as a representation of them, I guess. And then since the 1930s, then it has been used by various other socialist Irish Republican groups, of which there are a lot. Actually, I didn't realize until I was kind of reading this Wikipedia page of. I hadn't heard of any of them, to be honest with you. But there you go. But yeah, they all use this, so it's kind of a. I suppose if you run in those circles, or if you're a bit more educated in this sort of stuff, than I was, you'd have known this. But I'd never known about this, I guess. The second then was we alluded to the possibility that polio is a sexually transmitted disease last week. Unsurprisingly, that turned out to not be the case. It is, however, highly infectious and is spread from person to person. This is all pulled from Wikipedia as well, either through fecal oral transmission, which is poor hygiene, or by ingestion of food or water contaminated
Polio?
with yeah, polio, yeah.
Huh.
Contaminated by human feces, or via oral route, which I interpret as shifting. Anyway, those who are infected may spread the disease for up to 6 weeks, even if no symptoms are present, and the disease may be diagnosed by finding the virus in the feces. Very feces orientated, actually, this virus, or detecting antibodies against it in the blood. So that's polio.
I actually, funny, that's your housekeeping. I asked the kid, like when I was going through his story with him, I was like, "What?
Yeah,
Wait, like I love the way you use polio. Like it's very interesting. I wasn't expecting to read a story about that. I was like, why did you use polio? And he's just like, the kid himself is, where is he from? Like he's in my kind of English class, so. I think his roots are like Turkey English. But he was like, I needed to find an illness because I wanted to write a story about illness, and just polio seemed like a good one, and it was easy to spell as well. I couldn't spell the other ones, so I just went for the others. So he
Legend.
based his story on polio because it was the easiest of the diseases that he wanted to spell. So
That's a really solid reason, though.
a very
Isn't it?
solid reason. I gave him kudos for that. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That's it wasn't so much that there's no secret kind of thing going on with your family that I need to know about. No, it's just polio is easier to spell. That's where it came from. So
Very good, very good. What else? Oh yeah, did I tell you I tried to sing easy and slow last week?
you said we talked a little bit about you thinking about singing the song, but I don't know. I didn't know you had actually tried to sing it because
Yeah. So I tried to sing it, and in normal stupid fashion, left it too late to properly learn it, so rushed it, and did the quick revision before I went over to the session. I was like, I'm going to sing this one early now so that it's fresh in my mind. Attempted to do that, and actually I even got so bad that because it's kind of slow, I cut out one of the verses. I was like, it's just, I feel like it's better if it's sang that slowly with 3 verses instead of the kind of 4 that I found online. But I fucked it up, and I forgot the words of a line, and it was like, the line was, I think it was the last verse, and it was like, the first line is something like, if ever you find yourself in the town of Dungannon, and it's like, that's the first line of the verse. I was like, if ever you find in the town of Dungannon, and then I blanked.
yeah.
I couldn't even think of the cadence to go. So I couldn't even, you know what I mean? Because it was just too fresh, and it was like, it was so like obvious that I had fucked it up completely. Like, I had to kind of own it, and yeah, people laughed. I basically said there's nothing to do in Dungannon, basically. But the line is a weird line anyway. Like, it's like, you can search till your eyeballs are empty and blind, empty or blind, or empty and blind, or something like that. So,
I remember the line but it was someone that came from Dungannon, a sweet
That's
little
the first
girl.
verse.
And
that's the first
where
verse.
did
yeah.
where did the person come from?
Dungannon, yeah.
Okay, all right.
And then so fuck that up. It's so embarrassing. It's just it's so embarrassing fucking up a song in front of people. Even when the stakes are relatively low, you just feel like such an idiot. And essentially because you're just left to going, and you have to kind of just rebuild in real time.
Absolutely.
Fucking horrible.
But better that than having it out in your phone.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Better that. Suffer the pain than carrying around your phone. So kudos to you, Ed. You took the hard road. You took the hard road and you fell, but I'd rather that.
Well, as long as you're happy,
rather you're
Andy.
dead than actually take out your phone and sing a song. I'd actually prefer you were dead.
Don't ever take out your phone in front of me and sing a song, Andy. I never want to see that happen. I'd rather see you debase yourself in front of the bicycle police than pull out a phone and start singing the lyrics. I'd rather you sing all the wrong lyrics. I'd rather you sing racist lyrics that are wrong than pull out your phone and sing correct
So
lyrics.
they're not racist. They're racist lyrics that are wrong.
No, that are the incorrect lyrics. You know what I mean? You start ad-libbing racist lyrics that are incorrect. I'd rather see that than see you pull out a phone.
You will. You'll see that before me pulling out a phone, Ed. There you go. Promise.
I keep being asked. I just came to my head there. What would you rather? Would you rather? Would you rather only be able to think of like that's racist words, or pull out your phone when you forgot the words of a song? Which would you rather, Andy?
I think that's a pretty easy one, though. You're going to go with the phone. I don't. Oh, I'd rather the racist words. Thank you very much. I don't know if that's such a.
Just want to see where you're at.
It's not going to split the room. If it does, then you're in the wrong room. If that's splitting the room.
Wrong. There's going to be one corner. There's always going to be a corner that be like, well, think about it. You're kind of.
Phones will be the destruction of society, but racism's been around for ages.
And look at us, we did fine.
We did
just
fine.
Oh fuck! I don't know where I was going with that one.
The good old days.
Well, I keep being asked by by, let's say, one or the other of my daughters, who do you love more? And they'll put out names, and you could see them come up with their hierarchy, like who do you love more? Do you love or what do you love more? But they go, who do you love more? Do you love Mammy more? Do you love me more? Like this sort of stuff. You ever asked that? You ever asked those questions?
I think we were going through it at one point until it became something that I wasn't willing to divide against, and refused.
I just give a generic answer. I love all of you. Same.
Yeah, I think that's the safe one.
It is.
Yeah.
Are you burning up there? Are you burning up there? I can see the daylight outside you there.
It is. It's pretty warm. Not as warm as it was. It was 39 degrees last Wednesday, so that was pretty warm.
God, Andy.
It was one of those.
That's horrible.
It was pretty bad. That was actually the same day that the cops stopped me on the bike on the way home.
Everyone's in a bad mood, so.
Yeah, it was fine. It's like there's not much. I think as long as everyone accept that nothing. I think it's harder for you. I think because like schools, they tend to they have a thing called Hitzefrei over here, heat freedom or heat free. So they all the lessons stop and everyone stops. Kind of you stop basically working, and you're just kind of taking care of kids. And I think that for me, that's like cool. That's all right. I can manage this now. It's different. Like if you have like deadlines to work, fix airplanes and stuff like that, nobody gives a shit whether you're heating up or not. It's all about the bottom line, the dollar bill, y'all.
Well, I'm working the nights now, so it doesn't kind of come into it. But I went to work last night and I got out of the car and it was pissing rain, and I was after a week of just reading all headlines about how Europe is basically burning, and I was like, can't be a bit of rain. I felt good. I was like, I much prefer this than the baking heat. I just can't take it at all. But
it also sends people
doesn't-
crazy, because like all major cities, Berlin has its homeless problem as well. But like we were talking about that last week in terms of just like the crazy people or the homeless and the crazy people seem to get a little bit, everyone gets a little more on edge when it gets that hot as well, which is completely normal. But like, even for people that are whatever, living and having access to clean water and food and stuff like that, but being like, fuck me, like just being like on the street and trying to fucking lack of clean water and just like how fucking irritable you get. Like people are just going around and it's sometimes a bit kind of, I don't know, crazy. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, like I suppose, and the reflex of most people, I think, is to grab a beer and enjoy an all beer,
Yes.
Which is probably the worst thing you can do. Just to dehydrate yourself even further.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that though. It still feels pretty good. We'll test that theory out in 1 month.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully it'll be cooler by then. Probably not though. August hot.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's all who knows.
Okay.
But yeah,
fair enough. I'm I'm worried now.
Well, just don't wear your shirt and t-shirt combo. And if you're going to keep the greens off color at least a little bit more than what you've done there today. This is a fucking travesty.
I think it looks good.
It actually doesn't. It's not a travesty. Actually, it looks lovely. You look great.
Yeah, fashion police. Are you enrolling yourself now in fucking fashion police, Mr.
Only if I get to ride a bike and cycle around and tell people about it. If they give me an official fashion police bike.
Your siren is ew, 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 ew.
Yeah.
Have you actually? There's one other thing that I was wanting to say as well. Oh yeah, this week actually, I was like, God, you look back on the week that you've had, and you kind of go, geez, what the fuck was I at? I watched a film called the film Tropic Thunder, and I've forgotten how funny that movie is.
It is a great movie.
Just, I can't believe I forgot how funny it is. Like, I mean, and every single one of them in it is brilliant. Like, they're all so good in that movie.
This isn't Robert Downey Jr. Is that him? Did he do his blackface?
Yeah. But in fairness, they really handle that well. Like, because
they nailed it. They just went straight at it.
Yeah, and like because they have another black guy in the movie calling him out on it, kind of going, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like. But when he goes, like when he really goes off on about like, I'll get some beans, some shrimp, and all this sort of shit about like what cooking a meal, and they're stuck in a jungle next to a swamp, and he starts going off on all this stuff. We're going to cook this, have a cookout, basically, like and your man just goes off on one, and I thought it was really well done, like But Jack Black's character, like, oh fuck me, I thought he was so funny.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He can be really
just-
hit and miss. He's one of those characters that plays the same character in every movie, but if he gets the right movie where it suits exactly what he needs to be, which is Jack Black, he pretty much nails it.
he's got one of he's trying to get off drugs, like, and he just he tells the boys to strap him to a tree, and he said, no matter what I say, don't untie me. And like 2 seconds later, yeah, I think I'm good now. I think I think it's out of my system. I think you can untie me now. You can untie me. It's just offering to blow the guys and everything, and just the way it's all done, it's just done so well. Like, it's just so funny. I didn't realize Ben Stiller like directed that as well.
No, I didn't know that either. He
Yeah.
directed something recently that I watched as well, some series, Ben Stiller. Can't remember which one it was. Yeah, I can't remember.
But yeah, that Tropic Thunder is on Prime, and it's very, very funny. I just gets a chance to watch it like that, 'cause I don't know when it came out, but it's been absolutely years since I saw it, and I just thought it was so funny. Oh my god! Like, there's just so many moments in it that just made me laugh. And Danny McBride is the pyrotechnic dude, and the guy from Eastbound and Down.
Yes.
Yeah, and like, he's brilliant in it as well. Like, and just all these fucking characters, fucking hell, and they do so many wrong things. I mean, there's so many non-PC things done in it. Like, I think they got a lot.
When was that movie made?
I don't know, but the character of Ben Stiller's character, I can't even remember his name, but he's a movie star, obviously. And they go through some of his previous movies, and one of them is Simple Jack. Simple Jack. Like, they got so much stick at the time for taking the piss out of that, because like, they were, But again, I think the people criticizing them kind of missed the point a little bit, because again, they kind of addressed that, in that kind of famous line, "You never go full retard," Like, they so they do actually tackle that, like, So I don't know. I thought it was such a clever film. Like, it's so funny. It's just so well done.
Yeah. I can remember.
He's like, I don't want to ruin the movie for anyone anymore, because there's so many nuggets that I completely forgotten about. So I just think, people should watch it if they've got a spare evening going.
Yeah.
So
We saw a
good.
movie this week called Us by Jaden Poole. Not Jaden Poole. The guy that did Them. There's a movie called Them.
No.
Us. This one's called Us. Yeah. I don't know. It's a horror. Not that great. I don't even. Maybe someone wants to watch it, but it's like horrors are just so shit. I don't know.
Hard to do horrors. Hard to do. a
Yeah,
horror.
it's hard to kind of have that kind of because I don't like horrors that just constantly leave you on the edge and worrying, like, when the jump scare is going to happen. That to me is
Right.
not horror. It's just irritating to me. It's
Okay.
like I want to be freaked out by not understanding what's happening, but there's some underlying
Yeah.
theme that I have missed as well. But this was just all kind of
It's like paintball.
yeah. I didn't just like exactly. I want to not know when someone's about to ram a paintball up my ass, and just I need to live beyond the edge.
Oh, you played the no holds barred paintball. You can put it anywhere. You can put it anywhere. Don't worry about it.
There's a gun. There's a gun. Just like I thought the whole idea.
Oh, I'm
was-
going to need more paintballs, sir.
Oh, you think I can only get 2 up there? Oh, well, if that's the game, then that's the game, right? How many paintballs you can shove up your ass?
Inspired by the ping pong show I caught in Thailand. That's how I fire my paintballs.
So again, if you have any stag parties that you want to get organized over here in Berlin, just reach out to us on Substack, and we can make all your dreams come true. All your
Oh
dreams.
God. So Yeah, the best I spoke about this last week was Heretic. Did I tell you about that movie, the horror movie Heretic?
Oh, you were
I didn't
talking
tell
about
you
it, yeah.
what. That's really good. That's a really good one. Yeah, so it's got Hugh Grant is in it. Is the I guess the big name in it, and it's got, I'm really bad. I can't remember the names of the other two actors, but it's very good. Based on these two Mormon missionaries who called people's houses, and they called this one guy's house, and this guy Hugh Grant, and it's just about what happens after that. It's a really good horror movie. Really well done. It's not really edge of your seat. It's really more kind of like a psychological dread kind of stuff, which is what, a little bit more, I think, down.
Yeah, I might watch
Less
this week.
paintball up the ass.
One last
if
thing
you-
for me is my mum texted me during the week talking about me, and she made a joke. She said, "Hey, Andrew, the char woman here." Completely forgotten. How did and I didn't get the joke, but obviously, so she's still listening carefully. The char woman here. So you obviously remember. You have great memories for these things.
Yeah.
I honestly
char woman,
forget
yeah.
every single podcast we do immediately after we do it. How did we dig up Charwoman? Where was that? Was that from the song, from the contender to it all? That is it. Was there something
No,
there?
I don't. Oh, I don't think it was. No, it wasn't that song. I'll have to think again now. To be honest, with you.
I can't remember. I don't know, but yeah, but she said she recognized, because we didn't know the word at the time, but she said she knew the word straight away.
No, we were talking about the Plough and the Stars, the play, and you were reading a bit about the Plough
That's
and
right.
the Stars.
The characters that were in
Yes,
it, and one of them
exactly.
was the char woman.
One of them was a char woman. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
so, yeah, there's lots of unsung char women out there.
There.
So
There.
well done.
We're here for you. We're here to protect you. That's what this is a podcast about.
To give you all a voice, even though we've instantly forgotten we spoke about it.
Yes. Now clean up my house. Anyways, you have any gigs? We never actually asked you, but have you anything coming up this week where you weren't jamming
No.
this week? So you might, but you're probably not jamming so much now over the next couple of weeks with nights.
No.
You're going to find it hard because you're like your nights. Then you have to try and flip back to normal day life, and then you have to flip back to nightlife again. That must be
Correct,
a fucked up month.
Yeah, it's a bit of. I'm not a huge fan of the old night shift, but it's a short duration, so it's 1 month, so it's fine, But yeah, it's the nightlife. Don't, not to be confused with social nightlife. This is work nightlife. So yeah,
There must be something. I was only thinking about it yesterday though, when I was walking on that bridge, that girl was singing. There must be something good about working through the night. Then your day. I guess you sleep for a lot of the day, but then you have a lot of the day. You know what I mean? I was thinking there must be some part of this that's like a good idea. Because the nighttime we don't need. You can't do anything at nighttime anyway, so that's why we sleep at nighttime. But if you work at nighttime, then can you I don't know. Let me get back to you on this one.
I'll collect some data, Andy, and I'll let you know. It's not working out great for me. I'll be perfectly honest in terms of doing anything other than sleeping during the day and working at night. But
I'm glad we could gather on this wonderful Saturday, 5th of July, for those of you that have been waiting for that one. I'm playing my yearly basketball tournament today. So the one where last year I was accosted on the ass by other players. So let's see how that plays out. I'll let you know how that goes. I'm going to start packing my bag and getting ready for that right now.
Man, best of luck. Good luck with that.
I
hope
you very much.
We'll see if he's a serial offender. If he does it again,
just straight for me.
Straight over.
Doesn't even say anything. Just starts gently patting me on the ass.
Anyway, packing a lot of paintballs.
Go on.
Anyway,
have a nice weekend. Take care, everyone. Love you.
Bye. So how many teams? How long is this going to last? It's like a blitz, I guess, is it?
5 o'clock until 10 o'clock.
Whoa. Will you go out afterwards for a few drinks?
There's beers at the court. It's a nice social thing.
Wow.
So let's see.
Nice.
A few beers and then back onto the court. Who knows? Guys, we go shirts versus skins. Andrew, skins.